Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to today's online trading webinar with myself, Giles Cochran. Hope you're doing well. I think things are a bit cooler for you today in the UK. So hopefully you're not sweltering in the heat. It's nearly pushing on towards 100 down here in the Midlands. Hey, Brett. Gonna give folks 30 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. It's a hot day today. I've actually been having a flannel that I put in the freezer. Just putting it on the back of my head has been giving some relief. Oh, yeah. Did you get hit on the weekend? Out and about? I dream of getting tan, Najam. It only happens in my dreams. Oh, yeah, nice. Well, I'm blue or I'm red. Morning, Ryan. Good to see you. In fact, hey, Ryan, I had a funny story, Najam. When I was younger, I had a best friend who looked, like you couldn't believe how handsome he was. He was beautifully tan, beautiful hair, looked incredible. And we were going on holiday, and he said to me, we're going to be a lot of time on the beach and by the pool, and he was worried that I was going to be letting him down, basically. And he said, "You're so white." He says, "Can you go on the sunbed before we go?" I said to my friend, I said, it doesn't make any difference. I said, I'll be on the sunbed and I won't tan. He says, "I don't tan." And he couldn't understand, and he kept trying to persuade me to go on the sunbed. We were young. Right. All right then, folks, let's get stuck in. The things we need to know for today, there's three things driving markets. One, the fact that Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed the threshold to get debated in the Senate by 51 to 49. It's uncertain whether it's going to get through the Senate, but it plays into some market fears that US debt is becoming unsustainable. It's currently running at 6% of GDP and is expected to continue to run at 6% of GDP if the bill passes. That should take shortly the US debt over 100% GDP. So it's concerning. We've already had a debt downgrade for the US from Fitch, Moody's, S&P, all just dropping their rating for US debt. So that's narrative number one. Narrative number two is the fact on Thursday we've got non-farm payrolls. And if you look at short-term interest rate markets, what you can see is they are pricing in a 92% chance of a cut for September. So that's seen as what should be expected. But if the non-farm payrolls is a big miss, that will go up to 100%. But if it's really strong and firm, then we can see the dollar unpick some of its recent losses, and you can see this dollar weakness that's really been growing really since that kind of sell the US narrative. And you can see here this failed head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart as that downtrend continues. So sellers have been really, really vocal there and just keep pushing the market lower. A very strong NFP could pull it back because some of that monetary policy pricing could shift, and the chances of a cut in September could be bumped through to October or even December. So that's the narrative number two. Narrative number three is the tariff deadline of July the 7th, I think it is. 9th of July rather. So they're the three things that are driving markets. In terms of today, sentiment's quite positive. You can see equity markets up, volatility down, bond market pretty flat, no major drivers. Commodities, gold, silver, enjoying a little bit of upside, WTI Brent crude. So it's a risk-on kind of market. The dollar was a lot weaker to start the session, has found some gains off its highs, but just, there's nothing really to drive markets, and there's no major drivers coming up apart from Fed speakers Bostic and Goolsbee 3 and 6. Got a 6-month bond auction that shouldn't create too much drama. So aside from that, it's quite light on the calendar. So you've got these big narratives sort of swashing around in the background. Light calendar, markets are risk on at the moment. So a couple of things to note about gold and silver. Silver coming into a very strong summer period. Gold coming into a very strong summer period. You can see from now into October. Tends to see nice upside in both gold and silver. So looking for gold and silver to continue. Yeah, at some point get a bit of an uptick. That makes sense. Nadjam spotted a very nice reversal pattern on silver. You can see here this head and shoulders pattern. So if we do get silver breaking out of that pattern, that could be lovely for a nice measured move just up to that 37.09 region. So do look out for that. Well done, Nadjam. Great spot. So that's one to look at. I think apart from that, yeah, and then looking at the moves we've been seeing in the E-mini, you know, value area high breaking above, value area high breaking above, value area high. So we've broken and opened above Friday's value area high, and we're trying to find some value up here. Now, the latest moves on the hourly chart, you can see we've had sellers have come in now and they have trapped those buyers, but the delta is positive. So we've got some trapped buyers, but we're only moving so far as that value area low that's developing on the weekly chart. And then on the 15-minute chart, you can see that we've had sellers come in the last sort of hour. And they've been trapping some of these buyers here. So you can see buyers getting trapped here, these buyers getting trapped, these buyers getting trapped. But what I want to see is if we do get some sellers trapped here by buyers, then I'm happy to go long because of the location we're in. Inventory is positive. The only thing I've got to be conscious of is here. So you see sellers have trapped buyers, and we've got that point of control. So if we can push above the 624725, that would be great. So that'll be the 64725. So maybe if we get above here or there, just got to be careful that we don't hit some major resistance there. So we'll see how we get at the open. Obviously, if we can get above that 6248, that would be pushing us back above that point of control on the weekly. And notice, yes, we've got sellers trapping buyers, but the cumulative delta has been pushing higher during the session. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on. Got the squawk on, and we'll come back for the open and get stuck in there, and we'll try and find our way through. I'm going to leave this weekly chart up because that's kind of driving where we're at. I want to see where we're at when we get to the open, whether we're sort of going to look like we're moving down further or pushing up. If we do have some positive inventory here and then we see that positive inventory being caught, then selling does make sense. So we'll see how we go at the open. That's all for now. We'll be back shortly, folks. All right, so here we go, coming into the open. So I'm happy to enter in off a retest of this sellers here, but if I get a break and close above this area here, I'm happy to go long. So let's see. Got this nice sort of push up. Have had this break down with these sellers trapping some of these buyers up here, so you could see some of those buyers jumping out, but I think if we get a close above this area, there should be at least enough of a run back to that region to get something off the open. Okay, 1 minute to the open, so here we go. So let's see where that closes. That's important here. Got 45 seconds left. Close above that, then I'm happy to go long at the open. Close under it, I'm still happy to go long, but from 62.46. Yeah, 62.46. Okay, 25 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. Here we go. Do we get close? Close above, happy to go long. All right, close above, so I've gone long there. And just entering in long on the open here. So that's a nice area.
Coming up next on the calendar, we are expecting US Treasury Secretary Bessent in about 10 minutes to be interviewed on Bloomberg TV.
And so got those buys, they've been trapped those sellers. So expecting a buy from this area. See if you can run up to the standard deviation. That wouldn't be unreasonable for a get-go. Okay. The buyer's coming in at that VWAP. Very sensitive area here. Now it's testing the resolve of those buyers. Yeah, it's quite heavy, but this is where they need to defend it. I've got that standard deviation as my kind of next defense. So a lot of volume coming there, but they weren't able to take out those lows. So that's a potential false break coming in here. Okay. Okay, so we've hit the standard, we've hit the VWAP, hit the first standard deviation. That's kind of like my line in the sand. If I go much below that, I'm getting out, but I'll give it a bit of space. Just hanging in there. Right, I'm out because I can't give that any more room. Tricky one, that one. Okay, I've still got it running on my other accounts. Just haven't got triggered arms on the micros. So let's see how we do here. Let's just see what's going on down here on the one. It's quite a long way. It's extended now, and you've got the next value area sits down here. So we'll see how we do.